their mic
All
open.
right, mine's off. Here we go. Here we go. Monday night check-in. It's Peyton. It's Eli. It's Tom Brady. Oh, no, that's not us at all.
No, that's not us. No.
That's not us. Shaq, Martin Weiss, Sal here. Yes, your extra points gang checking in on the Monday night game. What's the score here? It is 10 to 7. 10-7. New Orleans, who was originally -6, the over-under 42.5 at Seattle. I think we all have New Orleans, right, Martin? I got that scary feeling years ago. I had a lot of money on New Orleans, and Marshawn Lynch went wild on me. And I got that little bit of that feeling, but it feels like the ship has been righted a bit.
Well, I think the ship has probably been righted because, the last time I spoke with you all, I also spoke with Matt Hasselbeck, the quarterback of that team, and we squared it away. I think we're good now because he didn't know, but it was a long-standing beef that was on site between me and him. And now that he's cleared it away and apologized for his transgressions.
I think he knew.
I think now that he's apologized, I feel like the good juju is working in the Saints' favor up there in the
I thought the whole confusion about whether we're Peyton, Eli, and Brady or ourselves. I understood the confusion because I have my hat on backwards, but then I thought maybe Martin Weiss was doing his Marshawn thing when he said the ship is right. I thought he said the shit is something because that's what Marshawn was doing a lot of. He said some naughty words out there.
Yeah,
but I see on social media. No, he doesn't care. But he just here so he doesn't get fined. But yeah. By the way, I mean not to swoon, but really that was a gangbusters experience with Marshawn and then Brady.
Excellent.
Really, really fun
Excellent.
stuff. And the football game is good.
We're not supposed to like Brady, right? We're not supposed to like him, and every step of the way we do. And then he gives a fan with cancer a ball and everything. He signs his life away to him, and then you just see him in the booth with those guys. And by the way, is it possible that Eli Manning has bragging rights? You just listen to everyone talk of those three. It's like Eli has bragging rights over Tom Brady. It's like, and Peyton is the one who lost to Brady all the time. It just, I know we know it, but then you think about it, and it hardly makes any sense even many years later.
The food chain, you're right.
Brady's not going to argue.
What's that?
I think Brady just would be like, he knows the truth. That's why he's able to congratulate all these guys. Like I was telling you guys when we were off air, we're going to see it with Drew Brees in a second. They're going to talk about how complimentary he is and all this. The reason why Brady's able to do this type of stuff is because he's truly a jerk and really knows that it's damning with faint praise. That's all it is. It's like, oh yeah, you're really great at this, aren't you? So great, you only won this one time to my 6 or 7, 8, 9, 10.
Man, and then they're at the 1 yard, and he's giving away like defenses that he likes. He's like, oh, I love zones against crossing routes. I love them. It's like it's almost that easy for him. He's giving a hint, and he's like, hey, guys, this game is so easy for me. I hope all opposing coaches are listening. Like, here's what I do love. I love it. Doesn't really matter because everything typically works for him anyway. But he's actually giving some advice to coaches on how to defend him. It's outrageous what he can get away with.
It really, but I thought that was fascinating stuff about the exotic defenses versus talented basic defense. He'd rather see the exotic defenses and all that. Yeah, great stuff. I wonder if this is the greatest disparity between quarterbacks. I mean, now there are three. So you had Brady, Peyton, and Eli talking about a football game involving Geno Smith and Jameis Winston. That's got to be the largest gap from broadcaster to current NFL QB in the history of people, right?
It's pretty good. Yeah. Well, only because they didn't do the Sunday night game with Geno and Ben. I mean, they have a Monday night commitment.
There's not a reason for that.
Hey, I want to talk second half. Go ahead, Martin. What?
I was about to say, I'm sure there's some fullback discrepancies between those games that Daryl Johnson is calling and whoever fullback is on the field because fullback barely exists now in 2021. Exactly. But that'd be the only one I could think of.
So New Orleans started the game -6, 42.5. They have the 3-point lead. They have momentum, it seems. They're a 3.5-point favorite in the second half. There are 20.5 points expected to be put on the scoreboard in the second half. If you go just individual teams, this is what's interesting. New Orleans expected to score 11.5. Man, it looks like they know what they're doing here. It looks like they have it together. In Seattle, 7.5, which also seems low. I'm not sure. You guys have a feel on that right now? I think I'm going New Orleans the rest of the way.
I love it. I think scared. That's the pick.
I'm scared because I took the Saints in a teaser, and I teased it down 6 to over 35.5, and I have Saints +2. And so I'm wondering if my teaser is if I'm in danger right now, but I feel like that's just a ridiculous number. That's
I think
so
you're going to get some points. So you were bummed when they made it 7-3, right? I didn't exactly agree with the Mannings and Brady, who all said to kick there. I don't care what the analytics say. It's like, I don't know. Jameis just converted 2 4th and 1s. I know that one from the 1 is going to be from the 2 is more difficult. He also pump faked the guy and ran it in. Like, what more do we have to see from them? And also, the analytics isn't just for the very next play. It's for the entire drive. You leave Seattle at the 2, even if they get 1 first down, you're probably getting the ball at midfield, right? Check with 2.5 left.
That's always my thinking on it is, I guess there's some paradox too. If it's a great defense, then it's going to be harder to make that half yard or yard. But how many times against a really good defense are you going to get that deep into the red zone? Conversely, against the Seahawks, you're going to get another shot at that. This is a crap defense. You're going to get down there again. Go for it. And worst case scenario, you got Geno Smith with his standing in the end zone to take the snap. That's a winning result too, even if you don't get the touchdown there. So yeah, I was surprised that they didn't do it. Either way, though, I'm with you. It has a feel like the Saints are getting it going now. I wouldn't be surprised if the Seahawks don't get as much as, what'd you say, 7.5 in the second half?
7.5 is their over, yeah.
I mean, it looks a lot like they are now more and more saying, like, Geno did it once with DK Metcalf. Let's see if we can get lucky with that again. That seems like their puncher's chance to win the game is for Geno to hit some deep throws there. I'm not going to bet on that. I am going to bet on the superior, far more talented Saints team keeping the roll going here. I like them going over 11.5 in the second half, and I think they open it up. I don't think this one ends up too close.
Put check down for over 11.5 for the Saints. I like that.
I want to know if am I just a Saints fan, or did DK Metcalf did DK Metcalf? Yeah. I mean, he threw him on the ground.
Yeah, he threw him down. They didn't say enough about it. I don't know. I was watching the regular broadcast at that point, but I don't feel like they said anything. Yeah,
it just to me it just seemed like watching it live. I was like, oh, that's a push off, and
and as someone who has like a 22-point lead against DK Metcalf in 2 fantasy leagues, I was not jazzed about that. No call there. Let's look at player props, individual player props. Man, it seems like Alvin Kamara has like 25 receptions, but he has 8 for 109. I'm trying to find his rushing and receiving.
I was just looking for it because I was right before he scored the touchdown.
224.5 for Kamara.
That's insanity.
Woo! So he has 138, so 224.5. So that's 86 the rest of the way. Oh man, that's high, but I'm not.
I think you got to do that. That's where my head was. It's not obviously it doesn't take a genius to observe that everything's running through 41 for the Saints, and with good reason. You can try and zig against the Saints zag and Sean Payton what he wants to do here, but practically, where is Jameis supposed to go? You have to ride Kamara here, and that's good enough against a crummy defense. There's no reason to start getting into high arithmetic when you can just say, this guy is killing this team. Why would we possibly stop doing that right now? I think I'm on board with that. I think 41 keeps on rolling here in the last 30 minutes.
I'm going to do that too. Over 86 yards in the second half for Alvin Kamara, and it gets him over 224.5 total. Martin, you like anything player prop wise?
Yeah, I can't see it right now because it's locked, but I like Marquez Callaway to score a touchdown in the second half. Because as much as I do,
yeah, go ahead.
Well, I think that you guys are right with the whole Kamara's going to be the focal point of the offense. But if you look, the Saints have taken a few shots with Jameis down the field. If they connect on one of them, it's going to be to Marquez Callaway. And the only way that Sean Payton's letting them throw it is if they come out with that single high and Jamal Adams is somewhere 35 yards down from the line of scrimmage where he's got no business being. And Marquez Callaway or Traquan Smith will be the guy to break it.
Plus 390.
You can feel too.
Martin. Yeah, plus 390 on Callaway's score, and that's pretty good. All right, check. I know you like New Orleans over 11.5. I'm going Kamara over 224.5 total for total yards. And we got Marquez Callaway from Martin plus 390. Anything else jump out at you?
I'm tempted to say Jameis with a rushing touchdown, but I'd be curious about his rushing yards coming up here because I don't think that's going away. The Seahawks are desperate to not get beaten over the top, and you can see in the second quarter there, Jameis was taking advantage of that a little bit. I think he is going to be.
Wait a minute, this can't be right. So I think it says 33.5 for Jameis rushing yards, and he already has 27.
What? Oh, well, then, then
he has to go over 7 yards the rest of the way. That's pretty good too. What are we looking at here? This is crazy. Some of these numbers are just wild.
Actually, that feels right, Sal, because that feels right. Because I remember when I was looking at them pregame, I take the touchdown scores. I saw it, and I feel like Jameis's pregame rushing total was like 25.
Yeah, I mean, he has 4 carries. If he has 4 more, he's definitely getting it. If he has,
but let me tell y'all this. Look, it's not going to happen. He's not going over. He's not going to look because he had 1 carry for like 15 yards already and 2 sneaks. How many more carries is he going to get for the rest of the game?
No, I get it. Did you see pressuring him though? Yeah.
Right. And did you see how it opened up? That was a cute play he made too with that pump fake where he really hung that defender out to dry, made him look bad there. I think he's going to do that again. All he has to do is 6 yards. Sal says 6-7 yards. Yeah, that's a good enough.
All right, I'm going with that. So let's recap. Callaway to score. That's Martin's plus 390. We like Kamara over 224.5 total yards. So he just needs 86 and 7 and second half. The Saints, we're all Saints here. Over 11.5 for the second half. And Winston over 7 yards in the second half rushing. You could also get him at 11-1 to run a touchdown, and that could be fun too. Oh man, I feel like we're jinxing it big time here, guys.
You know how this ends. I know, right? Marquez Callaway down on the 2-yard line.
Yeah, right. That's exactly what happens.
Just like Josh Allen, anytime touchdown last week. I had 2 shots at it.
I do want to say, if because you're presenting is that like maybe it's kind of like a coin flip, maybe the Saints, maybe the Seahawks in the second half. My reasoning is that that the Saints are talented and the Seahawks suck, and that's really the main. That's the main thrust of why I think the Saints. I know it was a weak start for the Saints coming off the bye, but I think that they are going to the playoffs. If you look at the NFC, they win this one, they basically are getting real close to burying the Seahawks once and for all, because then this means that the Seahawks can't catch the Saints. They'd be 2+ up on them. And then the Seahawks are playing for maybe a 7th wild card. Whereas the Saints in a top heavy NFC can kind of put themselves strongly into the, I know we have plenty of way to go here, but I think that they are legit and they're finding it. Jameis is finding it a little bit.
What happened to the Carolina Panthers?
Well, that's a good ass question.
I'm not throwing dirt on them yet.
I don't know what happened. I am. I've seen enough. PJ Tucker, I don't need it. All right. I think they're kicking off, or they already kicked off. Those are our bets. Enjoy. We'll be back Wednesday on Extra Points. We're going to go over our favorite candies and most overrated candies. Don't sleep on that.
And we're going to throw Dan Masheka parade for 4 out of the last 6 pups of the week. Moneyline dogs, big dogs. I want my celebration. I want a parade.
All right, we're going to give Dave a parade on Wednesday. Fine.
Thank you.
Check us out.
Thank you.
Oh, man. It does this little circle thing, ending the broadcast. I don't know.
There's no one standing.
Oh, what do you mean? Said an error occurred. Wait a moment and then try again. What do you mean? I can't get out of the like
fall imprisonment? What are we doing? We have to stay in this room.